Hi, this is Matt Patty here with Matt Patty Real Estate, the third installment of my new YouTube channel, Matt Patty Real Estate. And I'm here to talk to you guys today about one of the most important aspects of any real estate transaction, which is disclosure and confidentiality. All right, we're going to start with disclosure. One of the first things you learn in real estate school, one of the first things you're always told by any experienced realtor is disclose, disclose, disclose. And that's a two-way street. But from an agent's perspective, disclosure means any information that you get that could be relevant to a purchase or sale of real estate, you give that information to your clients. And furthermore, you should be seeking to acquire as much information as possible to help them to make their best decision, whether they're purchasing real estate, whether they're deciding whether to accept an offer, whether they're deciding which offer to accept. You need to disclose all relevant material, financial elements of a deal to people and explain it to them in a way that makes sense, that makes things clear, that leads them to ultimately making the best decision for them and for their family. That's our job. And if you don't have an agent who is doing this for you, if you don't feel like your agent is giving you the information you need, if you feel like you're calling your agent and asking him or her, oh, what's going on with this situation, and they're kind of blowing you off, or it takes 2 days to get a return phone call or something like that, I hate to throw people under the bus, but chances are you don't have a very good agent. Because the number one complaint that people have about their real estate agent, that clients make about their real estate agents, is a lack of communication. Sometimes communication can be as simple as, hey, listen, we're still waiting for news on that file. That form, I submitted it, everything's done, but we're waiting for the sellers to get back to us, or we're waiting for the buyers to get back to us. I have put a call into the attorney. I have not put a call into the attorney. I have spoken with so-and-so, or I have not spoken with so-and-so. But communication is the key to a client relationship. Now, getting back to disclosure, because as I said before, it's a two-way street. When you have a client relationship with a real estate agent, that real estate agent owes you confidentiality. So any information that you give to them remains with that agent, or if it does not, then that agent can be, and quite frankly, in really some deep trouble. But when you're giving them information, they're asking you questions, your agent is asking you questions, answer them honestly, please. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. The first example is the property disclosure form that you fill out anytime you list a property. Say you look at that property disclosure form and you know something's wrong with the roof, for example. Say it's a 26-year-old roof. You've already had a roofer out there to take a look at it and give you a quote, and he said, yeah, this roof is shot. You need to replace it. And then you look at the property disclosure and it says, is there anything you'd like to reveal about the roof? And you say to yourself, well, you know, maybe not. I mean, why do I want to say this? It's going to decrease the marketability of my property. It's going to decrease the saleability. It's going to decrease the price that I'm going to be able to command for the property. You may feel that way, and you may be justified in thinking that way, but the fact is, not disclosing it is always the wrong thing to do. Because in a property disclosure, when you disclose a material or mechanical deficiency with the property, essentially, it's no longer your problem. When you sell that property, it is the responsibility of the buyer and the buyer's agent to read the property disclosures and to make sure that they know what they're getting into. That's called as is. That's covered under any real estate contract, any purchase and sales contract you're going to sign in Rhode Island. Disclosures are covered under the as is clause. So say you have that roof that's 26 years old, it needs to be replaced, you disclose that. Now the buyer goes through, they do inspections, the inspector comes back and says, well, the roof needs to be replaced. And the buyer says, well, I want money off the purchase price, or I want you to fix the roof. You are no longer, as the seller, obligated to do anything for that buyer. You have disclosed to them exactly what the situation is. You've told them what the mechanical deficiency with the property is, and it is up to that buyer to read the property disclosures and to make their best decision and to make their offer based on that. So you are actually protecting yourself, and in most cases, by disclosing a mechanical deficiency, you will save yourself money, you will save yourself time and aggravation. That's one example. Another example of disclosure going back and forth between the agent is on the buyer end. Say you are a buyer and you're looking at properties, you're closing on properties, and you have certain credit issues that you haven't disclosed to anyone. You perhaps are financially pre-qualified, and your agent asks you a few questions about pre-qualification. They ask you if there's anything that could come up, don't be afraid to talk to your agent about your finances. It falls under confidentiality. If you don't feel like you can trust your agent to keep financial information that you give them confidential, maybe you might want to look at that agent and say, if I can't trust this person, why am I doing business with them? But if you determine that you can trust your agent, please don't withhold confident financial information from them. Expect to give them the more information they have, the more that they can put it to use. Because oftentimes in a property transaction, the agent, a good agent, will get in touch with the mortgage broker, or they'll be working in concert so that both parties know what's going on with the other, so that both parties are on the same page. And if there's something, if there's a chargeback on your credit, or if there's a collection that's left unpaid, or something, you owe a phone company $50 from 3 years ago and you didn't catch it, but they sent you a chargeback bill, do not cross your fingers and go in a wing and a prayer hoping that it's not going to be uncovered when you go to apply for a mortgage. Because, as I'm sure most people know, a mortgage pre-approval or pre-qualification letter is not actually a mortgage. It's just a lender saying that, yes, I've looked further into their credit and we can probably give this person a mortgage, assuming everything checks out with the information that we've been given. So if there's anything on your credit and you're hoping that it slides through, or you're embarrassed because you owe money, or you owe more money than you have, or you have a credit card that's over an account that's gotten out of control or something like that, don't worry about it. Agents deal with this all the time, and your agent will respect you for being honest and forthright to them, and it will better enable them to possibly come up with a solution to get around whatever financial issue you have, and to work with your mortgage broker on getting you into a property that you can afford, and ultimately having a successful closing that ends with you getting the keys and moving in. So disclosure and confidentiality. Disclosure being a two-way street. Your agent should be giving you as much information as possible. They should never be annoyed by your presence. I mean, if you're calling them at 1 a.m. in the morning, maybe that's time to be annoyed. But if you're calling your agent during regular business hours, or right when you get out of work and you say, hey, what's going on with my deal at 123 Maple Ave or 99 Main Street, or wherever it is that you're buying, and they're saying they're not answering the phone, or they're acting as if you're bothering them, your agent's really not doing you a service at that point, because you deserve to get all the information. You deserve to be treated well by a real estate agent. You deserve to have someone who makes making that purchase easy for you, or makes making that sale easy for you, as easy as painless as possible. That's part of our job. It's not just our job to process the paperwork. It's not just our job to find the houses. It's our job to satisfy our clients. And part of that responsibility is being there for them. It's a very stressful time when you're selling or buying real estate. And your agent should be there to take the emotion out of it, to give you the facts, to get the facts for you, because while you're at work, they should be at work, right? That's only fair. It only makes sense. But it's a two-way street. You have to be honest and forthright with your agent, and if you do not feel like you can be honest and forthright with that agent, you do not feel like they are going to keep your confidential information, your financial information, your personal information that you give them that will affect your purchase, if you don't feel like they're going to keep that information confidential, maybe you should reevaluate that relationship and work with a different agent. So that's my perspective on confidentiality and disclosure. I see a lot of deals that could have been saved, that could have been salvaged, that don't work. Not necessarily my deals, but other deals that other agents, other people are involved in. And I see a lot of deals that do work. And a big part of it is faith and honesty between an agent and a client. That's a very important relationship, and it goes both ways. When both parties work together, real estate can be a very fun, very lucrative, very enjoyable business. When both parties are working against each other and keeping things from each other, it's just like any relationship where that's going on. It can really be a hard time. So, just to reiterate, because it's a very important point, disclose. Expect disclosure from your agent. Give disclosure to your agent. And once again, my name is Matt Patty with Matt Patty Real Estate. If you ever have any questions, you can reach me at matt.patty@nemoves.com. That's NE as in New England. And I'd be happy to answer any questions. Real estate's not only my job, it's also my passion. So I look forward to hearing any questions, comments, concerns, etc. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day. And I'm hoping you're getting ready for the holidays, gearing up to enjoy a beautiful Christmas with your families. Thanks a lot, and have a wonderful day.